Hello everyone and welcome back to the second episode of Car City UK Behind the Scenes. My name is Mario and I'm here today joined with Jamie Jenkinson. Jamie is the sales manager at Car City UK. He has been with us for around 5 years and he brought on board masses of experience. And I've got him on here today to talk about the differences in buying cars over the last few years. Jamie, welcome.
Thank you, Mario.
Jamie, what do you think has changed in the last few years in the way people are buying cars?
I especially think since COVID, we all come back, I think social media, stuff like this is massive now, how customers are buying cars. I think the interaction with the dealer, how your stock and your business is presented online is a lot more the main way that customers will look at you before they're going to contact you, before they're going to make that initial inquiry. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of us were dinosaurs stuck in the past from where we were.
Yeah, I would agree.
Price focused more than the actual presentation of your car, the specification of your vehicle, or actually listen to the customers. And I think we have to move with the times, and I think that's what a lot of dealers are doing now.
Would you say since we started doing, these videos and presence online and with TikTok and Facebook and, in general, Instagram, would you say you've seen the barriers of customers coming down when they first come to the dealership? They almost know, like they know you.
Yeah, because the customers come down. Obviously, we have Dan who does a lot of presentation for us online. Mm-hmm. The amount of calls I take as the sales manager asking if can Dan handle the inquiry, or that ask people that meet me, they know myself. I think they feel at ease when they come because they've seen you online, or they've watched what your presentation of your stock's like, what type of cars you sell as well. I think people do a lot of research before they actually put that initial inquiry in.
And I agree, and it's the right thing to do because we've got to remember that although we know these cars and we deal with hundreds of different cars on a daily basis, the customer that's looking for that specific car has done all his homework.
Yes.
They know what spec they want, they know the colours, they know everything. Can you just let the people know that are watching this now, what is important for Car City UK when we're buying a car? What is it that we're looking for?
So we're looking for what the customer's looking for when they're looking for a car. So we want the specification on the vehicle right. We want the owners to be, if it fits with the age of the car. Mm-hmm. It's full service history, full dealer history, the condition of the car. Also how the car looks, how it's presented. We're in a position at Car City, which we're in a lucky position to be. We can, what we call cherry pick our vehicles because we run with anywhere between 100 to 120 cars at all times in stock. So we don't have to ever panic buy, we don't have to buy from auction. We can do our research before we buy the car to make sure it's right and we're going to get the sale. Would
you agree then with the fact that I genuinely believe that we don't want to buy every car out there?
Not 100%. No.
We only want to hand select the few that hit our standards.
100%, and I think that, which as well you well know, the amount of cars we do turn down each week that we get offered, that we don't fit Car City's criteria.
So Jamie, when you buy in stock, what is the key things that you look for to make sure the vehicle that you're buying is A, right, and B, it's going to be profitable for us?
Obviously, I look at this again. What I've mentioned, the specification of the vehicle. I look at the current market trend. So is it a seller? I look at.
When you say current market trend, sorry to interrupt you. Yeah. What do you mean? Like, do you mean like if it's winter, you look for a 4x4 SUV, and if it's summer, you look for?
Yeah, you could do that. You could look at the convertible side, but also we have various platforms that we advertise on that we can pull data from that's available to us. So how many days in stock the car would sell. What the current retail rating is, the popularity with the public. There's a lot of data we can pull from the platforms that we advertise on.
Okay. And when you price a car, what is it you aim to do? Are you aiming to be the most expensive? Are you aiming to be the cheapest? How do you decide what the right pricing point is for a car?
We're aiming to be the best value for that car. So if that car has full service history, if it has 1 or 2 owners, if it has a good specification, is everything right with that car, then we'll price the car to market. We're not always going to be the cheapest because we believe in our stock and the stock that we have. If we, the ideal scenario as a business, we want to sell that car as quickly as possible.
Yeah, we're not a museum.
Yeah, exactly. We're not a museum, as we say. But And again, that comes with the buying of, I'm confident, and with my experience, your experience, we do buy the right cars. If you look at our website, we don't have a lot of overage cars. You know, the experience between the pair of us, we know what we're buying.
Yeah, it is important to make sure that you buy the car right in order to ensure that you sell it quickly and profitably.
That also comes with the adverts that we do. If you look at our adverts, I individually do the adverts, so we'll write an advert for the car. We won't just do a generic advert.
Like a specific to that vehicle, yes.
So if it has the upgrades on it, you know, the sound system upgrade, or if we've upgraded the car with alloys, body kits, spoilers, all that will be built into the advert. So, and you know, hopefully that will improve for the customer when they're reading it, rather than a generic advert pulled through.
You're correct. Well, the reason why I mentioned that is because obviously talking on the subject of advertising, a lot of people think that, you know, you buy a car for X amount of money, you sell it for Y, and they think that you made this big profit.
Yeah.
But what they don't see is the general running of the business, such as, you know, some of the costs that we pay for our advertising are ridiculous.
Yes, yes.
You know, there's a certain company out there that we pay over £23,000 in a month just to advertise our cars through. Now, then there's other platforms that we use as well. And some people don't realise what sort of money it takes to keep the doors open. So, you know, for all the people out there, me and you know that it costs us £165,000 every single month just to open the doors.
As you will tell me quite often.
Yes, correct. Jamie, as you are responsible for the actual display and the advertising of the garage, how do you prioritise which cars will come in the showroom, what cars you're going to have on your front line, you know, the general feel of how you present your cars?
So it's all about, when a customer comes into the business, you want to have that wow factor. So, you know, with regard to the cars inside the showroom, we'll always try and have a mixture of what we would call our high-end cars, you know. So at the minute, if you'd come into Car City today, there's two Uruses, there's a Bentley Continental, and there's a Mercedes GT. So there's a mix and a colour mix, but because when someone's coming into your showroom, you want them to say, wow, and you want them to, you know, that's your shop floor. And it's got to be...
First impressions count on.
Massively, yes. Yeah.
And outside your display, how do you decide, you know, what to put where?
So again, depending on the stock we have, so if we have, you know, which we normally do, we'll have at least 20 sort of what we would call SUVs. We'll have a nice row of them. They'll be all colour blocked. So i.e. we won't have white. It's all a mixture of colours. That's my anxiety levels, as you well know. And then we try and have a hot hatch sports section. Then we'll try and have your everyday run-of-the-mill cars, but they'll always be presented right. They will always be mixed colours. So again, you drive on and you look and think, this place looks well.
So visual stimulation is important.
Very much so. You know, your presence online is as much as your presence when they come to the dealership.
You're correct. I agree with you. So Jamie, you know, you obviously lead the sales team, and I just wanted to get a bit of an insight on how do you determine how the sales team runs, and how do you make sure that you always keep on top of the KPIs?
I mean, the best way probably to let you know is I'll give you a tip of how we start the day. So I'll come in on the morning, and we'll have our what we call our sales inquiries from the customers. I'll then have all them sales inquiries ready. We have a meeting with the sales team, and then we'll look at the inquiries. So we'll go through them as a group together. So let's say there's 6 inquiries. We'll look at each individual inquiry. Some customers want to contact by email only because they're not, you know, they want to see what you're like. They're not confident to pick up the phone yet. Some are asking a specific about the vehicle. Does it have sat nav? Does it have Bang & Olufsen? Does it have pan roof?
So they're asking about spec.
Yeah. So we'll go through the inquiry. I will give the inquiry to each individual salesman. So they know.
Is there a way to pick which salesman gets which inquiry, or?
It just, sometimes how we do it, it depends on who was in obviously on the day. If it's an inquiry on, for instance, a Lamborghini, or if we have Lambo Dan. Yeah. So if I give that inquiry,
I love that one.
Yeah, if I give that inquiry to anyone else, he'd probably fall out with me. So obviously we'll look at we'll have a sales guys will go, I'll take that one, I know that car took it as a part exchange, or I was out in that car yesterday, I have a video on my phone. So it's quite, every day is different depending on the inquiry. And then, that's
a nice excuse for them to say, oh, I've got an inquiry.
Yeah.
I'll just take it for a little drive.
They're always playing us, you know that.
Yeah, I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all.
But so then we'll say, right, how we're going to handle that. So, you know, Mrs. Smith wants an email, this guy wants to know the service history. We'll do that. We'll go for a quick walk around the pitch, make sure the place is tidy if there's been anything been the night before, and then the guys will go off. They'll do the initial, touch base with the customers from the inquiries that have come in. We then have what we call our sort of mid-afternoon we revisit them. So have you got in contact with them? Where are we up to? Or if the guys have come in, they might say, right, Jamie, we want some figures. Or
those are people that you couldn't get hold of in the morning.
Yes,
they might answer in the afternoon. Okay, I see.
And then we have our little, what we call our 5 at 5. Which
5 at 5, I like it.
Our 5 at 5, which is the last hour. So we will, how many deals we've got on for the day, the ones that we haven't been able to deal, why haven't we been able to deal them, or the customers we haven't got in touch with, we'll make a note that we have to go back again tomorrow.
So that's basically the hour before I call you and ask how we're going with the day. I like it.
Yeah. So we know when you ring us, we've got our answers for you.
And KPIs wise, obviously they're very important to ensure that we tracking of how we dealing with customers.
Yeah.
Because customer service at Car City is our number one. How do you keep track of that?
So we obviously we have our online apps, we've got our warranties and our finance, and there's a live database of breakdown of how many of them we sell with that. So again, with the warranties, we really want to sell a 12-month warranty with the cars that we sell. We want to make sure, and we price them so that the customer sees value in the warranties. Your finance packages, we are very flexible. We've got the lowest rates in the market for the used cars. So and myself and Sam just keep on top of that at all times. So basically, we're making the maximum profits for you.
And what I like that. And what about customer service? What are we rated currently on AutoTrader?
AutoTrader were 4.8, Google were 4.7. If you look at our recent reviews, or I look at our reviews are really good. Especially, I like the fact that our reviews mention the sales guys individually, which I think is a big thing for the guys.
Yeah, of course, it shows faith and confidence in the customers that if they're dealing with that specific salesman, he's capable of looking after the needs.
And again, if there's a negative review on there, we'll leave it on there and we'll respond to it. But also we'll learn from that because we're only human, and anytime no
one's perfect.
Yeah, and we'll look to if there's someone's written something negative, I'll also feed that back in one of the meetings. We haven't done well. This is how we move on.
I think personally that negative feedback is. It's as important, if not more important, because the only way you're going to grow your business is from seeing where your mistakes are.
100%, yeah.
And changing them. Every day is a school day. I mean, we've both been in the motor trade for over 20 years, and there isn't a single day that goes by where I don't learn something. And I'm sure it's the same for you.
100%. And I think the guys as well, we've got such a tight-knit team here that the guys take the customer service and the customer experience massive, and also we want the repeat business.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think now more than ever, people look at the reviews sometimes before they look
Correct.
at what stock
I agree 100%.
They'll click on your stars on Google or on AutoTrader.
It's more important to see how you're dealing with your customers rather than what you've got in stock. The final thing that I want to mention today is there's a lot of dealers out there. There's hundreds, even thousands. And if you had to have an outlook and say, well, we are here, we are Car City, why should people buy from us rather than someone else?
Well, hopefully our reviews speak for ourselves. The biggest thing is our stock and our customer service. Now, we don't treat people as, what would we used to say, cash cows, if you like, or whatever. We try and we listen to the customers. We've sort of friends with them. The majority of our deals at the minute are done on WhatsApp. So we'll interact with the customers. We won't
after hours.
After hours, yeah. The guys will come in and go, "Oh, Jamie, I've done 2 deals last night at 10:30." Yeah. And we laugh about it.
It's very important. Not every dealership does do that. They work 9 till a certain time. Once that time's finished, it's gone.
We're transparent as well, and we all know, all of our sales guys are experienced. We haven't got no sort of newbies, if you like. So they know. We always say, be honest with the customer. We do videos. We'll go the extra mile. We'll pick it up from the train station. We do the delivery, but mainly is our stock. If you look at our stock, just look at what we look at online. Look at how we present our cars, and also the specifications of our cars. Because, like you said, there's a lot of dealers that are selling the same sort of cars as us, and we want to try and be more that personal touch. Yeah, I agree with that. Well, thank you very much for watching again. This is only our second episode. As you can see, some of us are a bit nervous. Some of us are a little bit nervous. But thank you again for watching. Thank you. Take care.